You saw gold, white and gold?
I saw gold.
No, you were a freak if you saw white and
Mike
gold.
saw gold.
I
You
saw
saw
black
gold?
and blue.
If he
because I'm
said
an
gold,
Inter
I
fan.
say
I saw
gold.
gold.
What did
That's
you say?
right,
Black
son.
and blue all
That's
day.
right.
Yo,
I got a back
agreeing
right
agreeing with Ryan is not a great thing.
What do you mean?
I mean,
For
bro,
eyesight? Yo, he has eyesight like a hawk.
Your
son.
eyesight
Bro,
is
I got
good.
great
Yeah, but yours
IQ,
is terrible.
That's
IQ.
true.
What does that got to do with
Oh, with glasses? Yeah, that's what,
Guys,
I don't know
what
about
color did you
that.
see the dress? You saw both.
Black and blue. I'm an Inter fan.
I saw black and blue only.
That's
Saw
right.
gold, man.
You guys
Deep
were freaks
down.
to see white and gold.
Yeah.
Deep down.
Talking to a guy that has 20/20 vision.
I have
Yeah.
20/20 vision as well.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't think
Me
it has
too.
to do
I
about
have
20/20
LASIK.
vision.
Yeah.
I have LASIK. What do you have?
I have glasses.
It's 2020, correctly.
Well, you got to look at it now. The
Yeah, I
last
gotta
time
look
you
at it
didn't
now.
have
You're right.
You didn't have it.
Yeah, yeah.
I want everybody to comment below. I forgot. I have to see it again. Maybe now that I'm older.
It was gold.
It'll look.
People
For
don't
the
know.
people wondering that
Clearly
are going
gold.
saying, what are you guys talking
Right,
about?
Peter?
Remember that meme like a few days ago? They were
A
saying
few
what?
years ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago,
You
no?
said a few days ago.
A few days ago.
Oh, my bad. I meant a few years ago where it's like, what color is this dress? Is it what the hell was it?
Yo, pull the picture up.
Gold and
It
what?
was-
What the hell was it?
Pull-
The dress
like-
was apparently people saying blue and black, or was gold and white.
How does that
Okay.
even start?
I don't know, man.
How do
No
all
idea.
memes
We gotta
start?
ask
I just
Antonio.
know what I
Yeah,
said.
how
How do
does
all
the meme
memes
start?
start?
Some start from our
There's an
page.
episode from.
Some start
my
from this
show.
podcast. Ryan, you're a meme. Ryan, you're a walking meme.
Ryan.
Nobody made a meme of you, but you're a walking meme, bro.
Yeah, okay.
This is truth.
Yeah, what makes you say that?
Because when people look at you, everybody's got different perception.
That's
Hey,
true.
Like when I see
I'm
your
a-
What's your
face-
perception?
I know,
This
man.
guy-
I know. Let me hear yours. I would love to hear it.
Nah.
no, I would
Face
love to.
what?
Come on.
What do you mean?
When you see his face, what you were about to say?
I was gonna say you look like a clown sometimes, you know.
That's fine, man. I'll take that.
Manchester United fan.
You look like the whole circus.
Oh,
That was a nice
snap.
layout.
man.
I don't know if we're talking about culture or if we're talking, we're just
Some
roasting each
banter,
other. over
banter.
here.
I miss you
Get ready.
guys.
Oh,
I miss you
man.
guys. It's been a
I
little
wish
while.
I could say the same.
Yeah,
Mike, I see you every day. Come on.
I know that's
Yeah,
why.
sure.
That's why.
sure. It was nice without you guys for
Yeah.
a little while, for a week. I tuned into some of your
Dude.
coverage.
Did you bring anything
I
back?
brought me. I'm the
What?
present. My presence is your present.
No,
Almost at all.
no.
Can
no
I return
gift,
it?
No
Do
cheese.
you have a receipt, Marco, for your presents
I
or
gave
no?
you water. That was from me.
And that's not even from Italy, no?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I brought
Come
it for
on.
you.
That guy, man. Anyway, I'm excited.
Not
for this
even a
weekend,
little
boys.
sticker, little magnet.
I got it at home. I got it home. I'll bring it to you. I'll
You're
bring
gonna
it to
have to, man.
you. Guys.
Otherwise, I'll be going there myself.
I saw some of your I tuned into the first live stream where you guys were watching Italy versus Turkey, and my dad and I were in an airport, and I just hear Antonio screaming about Insigne. He was even mad that Insigne scored, or Immobile scored, or Insigne scored. He was mad at one
Both
of them.
scored.
Yeah, they both scored that game. You're right.
But I don't remember which one he got mad at. It
Probably
was still.
I
It was
can't
still
recall.
Yeah, definitely Insigne.
and my dad was pissed. I was like, "What's wrong with this guy?" But it was good. It was good. I think obviously we're going on to the next round. We've got Italy against Austria tomorrow, where it's a knockout game. We're into the round of 16. Group stages, just to recap, I haven't given my opinion on a lot of stuff, and we'll recap everything. We'll talk about all the groups. Mike, have them up too, and we'll see how we think Italy can get to the final, if they could get to the final. Recapping the group a little bit, I think that obviously we did our job. We did as best as you could possibly do. I know we broke so many records for having like the best Italy team of all time. I don't think we've ever won all three games and conceded 0 goals. 3-0 2 games, 1-0 in the last game. It was an easy group though. I mean, Turkey was supposed to be the team that challenged us. They were terrible. I can't believe the hype. Everybody sold this Turkey hype onto me, and I was expecting a really good team. They sat back, they defended, they did nothing. No team really caused us problems, except the last game against Wales, but we had like 8 changes, so
yeah.
you know how much you could take from that. But we look good. We got a nice young team, but of course now, you know, the whole narrative is like the pressure that's on this team, right? How far they're gonna go. They, you know, people getting mad at others. This is what I don't understand. Like I saw what Vieira said about the intensity. He said Italy don't have intensity. They haven't faced a big team. I agree with him about not facing a big team because we haven't, you know, and I'm nervous to see when we face this good team, are we going to have the same character? We just don't know yet. Intensity, that's bullshit. Like, obviously our intensity was amazing. If anything, everybody was running, everybody was killing themselves. But listen, it is what it is. We didn't choose who's in our group. We didn't have a group of death, so you can't really take anything away from Italy. What was your guys' perception of everything?
I mean, for me, at least, I was pleasantly surprised. Like, I was confident that Italy would go top of the group, but not this way. You know, they scored when they played for real, their first team, they scored 6 goals. They didn't concede.
7 goals. Yeah.
No, I meant when they played
First
the
two
first team, the first two games. They comfortably won all the games. They minimized all the chances from these the opponents that they played against, and they looked just so comfortable. They looked amazing, even when they had Verratti, their starting midfielder, out. Locatelli came in. He shined. He looks like the MVP over here. So even when chiellini, when chiellini was playing, acerbi came in. He looked flawless. There's no problems. So it really seems like Mancini's doing a great job over here. And now the next test is Austria. I obviously don't want to underestimate them, but so far so good. Can't complain. There's no like, I can't nitpick at all. I think he's done an incredible job so far.
What was Anto's reaction to chiellini being an absolute beast against Turkey? He was phenomenal. Chiellini was amazing.
Great.
Amazing.
I don't think he had any comments, to be honest.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The only thing, I think that Spinazzola and Locatelli were the two best players. I would say if I picked out two. Barella as well. Barella was just fantastic. A lot of Jorginho too. It was hard to choose because we were a real team. The only thing I would say, if I'm nitpicking, I'm happy that he scored. I'm very happy that he scored.
That was the only thing I didn't
I'm
want to
happy.
say.
Listen, I think it's good for confidence. The thing that I'm scared about is that when you play Switzerland, okay, you get 3, 4, 5 chances to score, and then you score 1. We have to be able to score when we go on to play Belgium or Portugal or these teams. You're gonna get 1 chance maybe, and you have to be able to put that in the back of the net. Can we be clinical enough? That's just my only concern. Everything else, as long as we have the character and we be clinical, then I feel good about our team.
That's fair.
Did we sum up
Pete,
basically?
what do you think?
No, yeah. I mean, this Italy team, I don't think we were surprised that they finished first, but I think it's just in the manner that they went through each game. Donnarumma arguably had really a tough save to make in the last game versus Wales. Versus Turkey, obviously Turkey defended that game. I probably wouldn't have, but they just parked the bus really, and Italy just played their game, and they were able to finally score, breakthrough in the second half. And then you saw that. I think the intensity was amazing. I think the wing play for Italy was really good. Spinazzola is an animal. The guy was literally up and down the whole, the games that he played. And you have a midfield where they're all technical. This is not an Italy of the past where they sit back, defend, and have a little sluggish start. Like they were all guns blazing. That being said, this group stage was important to win
Some
it
things
and
never
do what
change.
you did and do for what Italy had to do, right?
Yeah.
Now you pass that group stage, it's a whole nother game. It's a whole nother thing because whatever you did for those 3 games doesn't count for this next game. And I think that goes for all the teams. France, Portugal, England, Germany. I mean, they didn't have such a great run either. Obviously they play maybe versus tougher teams, but they weren't so convincing. And like I said, it doesn't matter. The important thing is you get out of the group stage. Now you have these games coming up that you have to win.
And Ryan, seeing this as an outsider too, you've seen a lot of the games. I don't think we got your perspective before the tournament started, and now after seeing the 3 games for Italy. Are you any surprised at all, or what do you think?
I'm very surprised. I'll be honest with you. I'm really impressed with the way Italy played throughout the group stage. I know you said Turkey. The group wasn't as good. I thought it was a pretty tough group going into it.
But they didn't perform.
They
None
didn't
of the
perform.
teams
The team didn't perform. But prior to the tournament, if you look at the group, you would say that's a decent group.
Okay, I agree.
And like Peter said, the first match, Turkey parked the bus. Italy took advantage of it. They countered and they did what they had to do to get past. I thought Switzerland was going to be harder than Turkey.
Everybody
Turned
kept
out
saying
that didn't work out. Wales turned out to be the tougher match than all of them, but as Marco said, there was too many changes, so you couldn't really tell. But I will say one thing. It's impressive to see that their defense is solid. They haven't conceded. And on top of that, the midfield looks spectacular. Locatelli's performing. Jorginho, I couldn't get over how well he played against Turkey and going forward. And then the one thing that you said too, Marco, I'm not too convinced by their striking options. You got Belotti there, you got Immobile, and then you got the dude from Sassuolo, Raspadori. I don't know. I'm not convinced by that. But it's going to be a tough test. Austria aren't the best team, but, you got other teams in there right now that are going to compete, and it's going to be past this stage. Let's see what they do against the bigger teams. And that's where you're going to see how Italy, show their.
I think one thing, obviously, Immobile scored 2 goals. He's
And
missed some
assisted.
chances, yes, but he scored.
Yeah.
And I think the forte of this Italy group is that anybody can score. I mean, we saw Locatelli have an amazing performance, scored 2 goals in the second game, where he wasn't even supposed to be a starter if Verratti doesn't get injured.
You're right.
So I think anybody can score, and that's just the way that Italy plays. They're not afraid to play anyone, and they're very proactive.
My only thing with Mancini is I would like Mancini to make one change going into the playoffs round. So, and that would be Chiesa. I want to see Chiesa start only because the man's worth ethic.
Over Berardi.
It's a tough one because I'm not a fan of Insigne either. I think Insigne, he takes too long to make up his mind what he's gonna do with the ball. 1, 2. He had an open chance against Turkey. He blew that. It was a sitter. He should have put that in the back of the net. He missed. Berardi, I'm not too fussy about. But I would like to see Chiesa come in. I know he could play on that right wing. So let's give him a chance. See what he does.
When he played against Wales, he dribbles his man.
Yes.
Every single time. His dribbling skills are second to none.
Yeah.
But what I'll say about Mancini, and this is like the real picture. This is my takeaway. I said we had to win all 3 games. We were even talking, Michael and I, before. You're like, oh, it might be tough. No, Italy had to win all 3 games. Come on, let's not joke around with ourselves.
Yeah.
The thing that Mancini did is he's brought enthusiasm back to the national team. We are coming from not qualifying for a World Cup, from being disgraced in tournaments. We would always lose or drop points to smaller teams. Constantly. We never cared about our ranking. We never cared about this. We would sit back. We would calculate, 1-0. Okay, we're good. No, now we attack, which I like. And Mancini deserves so much credit for what he's doing. And I agree with a lot of the decisions he's made. Listen, you might not say, this player should have been there, that player should start. Guess what? He's getting the results. So as of now, you have to trust his decision making. He sees the team on a daily. So at this point, Mancini's earned enough of my belief that I say, okay, if he thinks this player's got to start him, and we see who comes in.
Now, and speaking of decision making, one decision that he made that was great was putting Di Lorenzo in for Florenzi.
But he was forced to do it.
But I told Mike I didn't even know there was an injury, but Florenzi had to come off.
Yeah,
he had to come off.
Di Lorenzo was
And
so
he
good that
right.
match.
Coming up, yeah.
So
Di
Di Lorenzo was
attacking.
so good.
And it was the right move to make. So, as you said, credit to Mancini right now, man. He has his team set together, and let's see what they do now going forward.
Yeah, that second game against Switzerland, I watched it in Florence with hundreds of people around me. Italy is they're crazy for it. You could feel the spirit. I've never watched a game in Italy, but we watched it on a big piazza in front of Ponte Vecchio. It was unbelievable. I lost my bracelet for an hour. Because when Locatelli scored, I jumped up and I fist pumped and this flew. I jumped on some guy that was next to me. Everybody just lost their mind. And to feel that again in a tournament felt so good. I ended up finding it at halftime. Some guy was just stepping on it, but whatever, it was fine. But just feeling those kind of emotions, I love Locatelli for what he did, and Berardi set him up well. We do have a little bit of a debate right now because we'll see who's going to start for Austria, right? It could be either Verratti or Locatelli, which is the big fuss, right? So I want to get everybody's opinion. Verratti, in my opinion, is the most experienced player. He's played for PSG. He's played in finals. He's played in high-pressure moments against the best teams. And I think that he'll have better nerves. I also think that he opens up teams a lot better. He's super technical. He could play through tight spaces. So if we're going to have a team that sits back, he could do a really good job at opening that team. Locatelli, on the other hand, provides more physicality. His shooting ability is amazing. And I'll say Antonio was absolutely right about Verratti, that he doesn't shoot enough, and Locatelli does. And I think Locatelli is going in with a lot of momentum. It seems like Verratti is going to get the start. I'll preface this by I will not complain no matter who starts. Again, Mancini, whatever you see in training, go by who's the best. But if it was me as an outsider, I say Verratti should start and use Locatelli as a sub.
Man, I'm a little annoyed with this because all the reports are pointing that Verratti is gonna start. And dude, how you gonna? Locatelli's been arguably the best player for Italy. I get what you're saying with experience and stuff, but how you gonna bench this guy after the incredible first 2 games he had? I just feel like he just played amazing, and you just can't sit him. He's the man of the hour right now, and he doesn't deserve to be on the bench.
Can I push back a little?
Yo, you can push back. I just feel like, dude, meritocracy, yo. He's doing incredible right now.
You said how can you do that after he's been the best player?
Yeah.
How can you doubt what Mancini's seeing on a day-to-day basis after what he's done? Who's got the best run in Italy's history with a 30-game unbeaten streak, where everyone told him not to start Berardi over Chiesa, and guess what? So far, it's paid off. Everyone's told him that he chose the wrong players, that this player shouldn't start. How are you going to doubt what Mancini sees in training day to day?
It's not that I'm doubting, and just I feel like it's going to be one of those like 55, 45 kind of votes. So it's not more of. I think he's playing the safer, maybe the safer option more than anything.
He never plays a safe option though. He's been
But
so
that's-
risky.
but that's what
he's
it's-
chose.
but that's what it looks like right
But the
now,
history
and
of
that gets
Mancini
me a
has
little
been the
annoyed.
opposite. He's gone off meritocracy. We have Sassuolo players starting. He's called up more players
they deserve it.
He's called up more players for the Italian national team than any other coach in history. So if anyone does meritocracy, it's been Mancini. You can't put that on him.
I'm not saying it. I'm just saying for this simple moment, I do see both sides in terms of, yes, Verratti saver. Verratti played with all these players for so long. But, yo, Locatelli's tearing it up, man. And to sit him after those incredible 2 performances, I just feel like it's a little heartbreaking, personally. But it's personal preference for me. But then again, Verratti's, we all know how good he is. So it's not going to be a huge difference in that.
We should
I would
say,
And
this is a great
Locatelli's
problem.
more offensive, though.
It's a great problem
No,
to have.
100%.
This
Great
is-
problem.
We used to have a midfield with Parolo, Giaccherini, Montolivo, players like this. Now we got guys that we don't even have to take that could fit. So it's a great problem. And again, I'll leave it to Mancini. But if you ask me, I would put Verratti.
Pia, what do you think?
What do you guys say?
About that in terms of that argument?
I think so. A lot of no. I think Verratti's the better player. I think Verratti's the better player.
Okay.
Because besides that he plays in PSG, you could even see how he moves. He's different than Locatelli. He's more of a feistier type player where he's back and forth. He can be the box to box. He can also make on set pieces. He can put a decent ball in, and he's able to have good vision. But I want to say that I agree with Mike in one sense that Locatelli, and obviously whatever Mancini chooses, I'll be happy with because I think they're both good players, and they'll do their job. But I think Locatelli has proven that he can play at this team. He's proven that this team with the doppio regista with Locatelli and Jorginho, they make this team move.
It worked.
So I don't think there's any problem. And I think Verratti is an added thing like Chiesa where they can come in the second half and really add a spark to this team if things are slow. Whereas I think Locatelli coming into this game doesn't have the same effect as a Verratti.
I would argue the opposite.
So that's what I would say.
Verratti's more deeper. I think Locatelli's more attacking.
Del Piero also said he would start Verratti over Locatelli. He said he's similar idea that the pressure in these moments when you're going to a round of 16, Verratti's played in these high pressure moments, which honestly that's been
lost.
What?
And he's lost.
Yeah, but it's better than never even playing.
Jeez, P.
That's just my biggest fear going into this is just Italy's character.
Jeez, P.
Anything else to add?
Yep.
I'm
I'm going to say Locatelli.
Locatelli.
The only reason why is because he's got a lot. He's got the momentum right now. He's very confident. He's playing great football. It's not necessary to make the change right now. I don't think it's necessary. If you have it set and it looks good, just keep it as it is, man. There's no need to make that change. So.
What else we got to talk about? What else should we talk about the other teams?
We can talk about the brackets. I can quickly name the brackets on the side.
Let's go over the brackets and also about the smaller teams. By the way, look how many how hyped up was England, right? And then they've tied Scotland. They scored 2 goals. They scored the same amount of goals as Locatelli has scored in the tournament, and they were so hyped up. So just to push back, even though I said they scored the same amount of goals as Locatelli. They scored 2 goals.
How'd they score?
They did 0-0. They did 1-0 and 1-0. They scored 2 goals. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Last game, I don't know the last game. The last game
they beat Scotland 1-0.
No,
Croatia
Scotland they tied 0-0.
Yeah,
Oh, they
tied
tied
Croatia
Scotland. They beat Croatia, and then who's the other one? The other one was
I don't know. Whoever the third team.
Yeah,
in
no,
the
you're
group
right.
is.
No, you're right.
I know. I think it was 1-0, 1-0, 0-0. Those were the 3 results.
You're right.
But just to push back on even what I was saying about Italy's only played small teams. Some of the smaller teams have caused the bigger clubs, the bigger nations trouble. Even France has not looked as great. It's correct?
Yeah, 2-0.
It has not been as great as, people have said. England, who was favorites to win the tournament, according to a lot of people. Portugal, who's favorites to win, according to a lot of people as well, haven't looked the greatest. So just to push back on that narrative, but either way, sorry.
Well, these smaller club teams, nations, they're going to give you the most difficulty because they're closing shop. They're going to try to get that 1 point, especially with this new thing in the Euros where the best, 4 third-place teams or 3 third-place teams are able to get in.
That's a terrible rule.
I don't like it.
I hate that, man.
So at that point, 2 ties and then a chance to win a game makes a big difference, and you can be one of that third-place team. Hungary was this close to doing it versus Germany.
8 minutes.
So, these smaller nations or non-powerhouse teams, they'll really, really fight for every little inch. And even Italy versus Turkey, up until the 54th minute, we were all cursing, like going, "Are you kidding me? We can't score." We needed that breakthrough to then open up the game. So the smaller teams are hard, but England did their job, winning 1-0. Even if they're not impressing or whatever, they did a job to win the game. And now when they're in the next round, they can turn it off.
They play Germany.
Yeah, it's a very tough. But if whoever wins that game has an easier route, let's say.
Which I don't get how.
It's weird.
It's
I know.
mind-boggling to me that Germany finished. Germany is the one who finished in third, right?
Yeah.
They finished third in the group, and they have an easier route than
No,
Italy.
no,
second.
I think Portugal finished third.
Portugal finished third. Okay, I'm
Portugal,
sorry.
yeah.
There was some team that finished in third that's on that right side of the bracket. I don't know which team it is. If we could check who finished in third and they ended up on the right side. I hate how the right and left.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
so
it's
unbalanced.
sweet.
I mean, as an Italy fan, I really don't care. I'm not nervous because listen, you play Belgium next round or you play Portugal next round. Guess what? If you're not gonna beat them, then go home.
Yeah.
I don't want. It's not that you need an easier route to go to the final, or you're gonna play France in the semifinals. Guess what? Whoever comes up, you have to beat at the end of the day if you want to win. So I'm not too mad, but I think it could have been balanced to get a better final.
That's fair.
I want to speak on England for a second. They didn't impress me at all, though. I had a lot of people that were saying that England were gonna win the whole tournament and so on and so forth. They were gonna dominate. For me, I had England. I don't know where you guys had England, but England was the dark horse for me. I
didn't have them dark horse.
Yeah, I didn't have them as a favorite though to win the tournament.
I didn't have any of them.
They were
So-
like the second favorite.
No, there's no way though
on-
because
on
I
like
feel like they
odds.
always are though.
But you know
England
what?
always is.
you look at that roster, you look at that bench, and you look at Southgate and you say, what are you doing? I mean, it was a 0-0. He's got Sancho on the bench. He's got all these guys on the bench to bring off Calvert-Lewin, striking options, and he's leaving. He's the kind of guy that if he favors you, he'll keep you on the pitch, even if you're not performing.
See, a coach like that, then you could yell at Mancini.
That's where you
but
criticize.
Mancini's been like the opposite.
But that's my. Listen, I'm not English, and quite frankly, I don't really care if England win or not. That I don't care if England win or not. Just that's a coach that you got to turn around and criticize because you know what? You got all that talent on the bench. You need a goal, and you're not making any changes because you'd rather see Sterling stay on the pitch, Foden stay on the pitch, Kane stay on the pitch when they're not doing anything.
I
It's
hope
pointless.
Germany win. I really want. I want Germany to
But
beat
Germany,
England.
they didn't start off well. They seem to have found their form towards the end of the group stage, but it's going to be a tough one.
But everyone counted Germany. What I don't understand is everyone had this Germany's out. France and Portugal, of course, are going to go through. For me, in a tournament, and okay, they came in.
They
No,
came
they
in
came in
second,
second. They
but
came in
they
second.
were.
But either way, I never count Germany out of a tournament. I don't care about their form. I really don't. When they have to win, for some reason, these guys come out and they win.
Yeah.
They have the mentality. Yes, you could look up in history and they slip up, but I would still never bet against them. For me, even though England is the major favorites, and England should beat Germany according to everything that there is, according to all the odds, according to players, this and that, I say Germany's
They're
gonna
in the
beat
top
England.
5 favorites for me. I just don't. I don't favor them winning. I don't think they're
I don't
capable
think
of
so.
it. I personally don't.
I want Germany to win.
Regardless, let's move on to the brackets that I have over here. So on the left side, where there's two sides of the brackets, which is Italy's side, Belgium versus Portugal.
That's a
The,
tough
the
one as
winner
well.
of that play the winner of Italy versus Austria, which
Let's start
we'll
with
be
that
seeing
side.
tomorrow. Okay.
Belgium versus Portugal. Who's winning? It is a tough game.
When I woke up, I was like, man, I think Portugal might sneak something. But then I was like, man, Belgium didn't won every single game. I think they're stronger. So it's like an ongoing battle in my head. Who's gonna happen? And I'm thinking, which team is better for the Azzurri to play? I feel like Belgium would be a little bit more favorable than Portugal because Portugal plays that deep lying, absorb the defense, and then they have that counter that's very deadly. But I feel like Belgium will have the ball possession more, but I feel like Italy can hurt Belgium more personally.
Yeah, but forget about who Italy have to play. Who's gonna win?
I think maybe Belgium's gonna go.
You know what's fun? I mean, Lukaku's been unbelievable at the tournament as well. He's been so good. De Bruyne is phenomenal. I mean, I haven't seen anybody else play, to be honest with you. I watched like one other match, but I've only been able to watch Italy. I just haven't had time to see all the rest of the matches. But Belgium have looked really good when I've watched them. The thing that I'll say is that for me, Portugal is overhyped. For me personally, just because from what I see online was all France is going to win or Belgium or Portugal is going to win the tournament. Those are the two guys that everybody says are going to win. For me, Portugal will not win the tournament. I don't like their style of play. It doesn't matter if Ronaldo plays there and he plays on Juventus. I don't like their style. I don't like the way that they play, and I don't think they haven't impressed me so much for being favorites. And I know they had a tough group. I'm not crazy about Belgium in these kind of rounds, but I'm going to say that Belgium knocks Portugal out. Wow. And for me as an Italy fan, I don't care who we play. Give me either one, doesn't matter. Because if you're scared to play one of these teams, pack your bags and go home. Because it doesn't matter if you play Ronaldo, it doesn't matter if you play Lukaku, you got to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a crapshoot to choose between Belgium and Portugal. I think they have players on either side that are top players, whether it be within Serie A, Premier League, La Liga. So it's really going to come down to chances. You have two guys, Ronaldo and Lukaku. We're familiar with them in Serie A as Serie A fans. And these guys, when they have the chance, they'll punish you. I
make a prediction.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the prediction. I think I'm gonna say Belgium, just because I'm gonna be rooting for Belgium compared to Portugal. And I hope Lukaku can really shine and score a couple of goals maybe.
Damn, son.
You look at well, going into the match first, I think Belgium look better for me personally. You said Portugal don't seem to have, I don't know, they don't have their form right now. They don't look good. It's a shame too because they have a lot of, there's a lot of talent on that team. A lot of talent.
Nice attack, man.
I think there's more talent on Portugal than what there is on Belgium. But
in attack, I think.
Really?
No, even in
right now.
I wouldn't. I'm
not
that crazy.
They have
about
Ronaldo. They have Bernardo Silva. They have Bruno Fernandes. They have Jota.
Bernardo Silva
Felix.
takes so long to pass the ball.
I'm just saying they have quality
prefer De
players.
Bruyne.
John Moutinho, Ruben Neves, all these guys, bro, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Portugal have a phenomenal team. Cancelo, they have that guy from Dortmund. Anyway,
Rui Patricio.
I just think that Portugal are the favorites, but going based off form, looks like Belgium's gonna win. But now going into the Italy match, if one of them play Italy, I think you guys rather take Belgium.
I'd rather take either one.
Okay, I'm just saying. I think it's gonna be Belgium.
I have
Because
0%.
you know what?
0%
You look at
preference.
Chiellini.
Zero preference.
Chiellini
Zero preference.
handled
I'm mad at
Lukaku.
anyone who has a preference. It bothers me if you have a
Why?
preference.
There's different playing
Oh,
styles.
right?
Right?
Favors.
Who pound for
cares?
pound.
There's different
No,
playing
No,
styles.
no,
that
no, no.
favor.
Yeah, but who
Chiellini
cares?
handled
I don't
him.
know if he handled it.
Chiellini handled Lukaku real nice, man. Come on.
Chiellini walked
It's a-
away.
That's why I
his
think-
nose was like this.
It's a good
so.
battle.
That's
What are you
why.
talking about?
I was talking about the
Inter
Juve,
Juve
how
game.
Chiellini handled Lukaku.
It'll be a
That's
nice
why it'd
matchup.
be good.
Yeah,
It'll be a nice
It's gonna be a
matchup.
good battle for sure.
Belgium, Italy would be a fun
Absolutely,
match, I think.
100%.
Italy, Austria. I mean, Italy's got to go through.
Yeah, they have to.
I mean, you can't slip up. If they do all this and then you slip up against Austria, it's a total failure of a tournament. It would be a really, really big disappointment. I don't think they will. I watched a little bit of Austria play, and I was not impressed at all. I didn't like their style. I didn't think that they were very good, to be honest. I don't remember who was in their group, but I remember watching them play a little bit, and I wasn't impressed. Italy have to be able to beat Austria.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, as far as names too, Austria doesn't have a real
Alaba.
powerhouse name besides
Arnautovic.
Alaba, Sabitzer. Arnautovic has.
You remember
really
when we
had
went to
that much.
Austria and all we saw was David
Yeah.
Alaba?
He was in every poster, every advertisement,
water,
every
restaurants.
bus stop had Alaba on
He
here.
was the only
Dude, it was
person we saw
crazy.
was Alaba.
That's crazy.
No.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
You couldn't turn. You couldn't walk 5 blocks without seeing Alaba's face somewhere.
Vienna's
Well,
a
he's the
beautiful
biggest
city,
name
though,
coming out of Austria
But
right now.
But I think getting out of the group stage, and even they are a solid team. So I don't think it's something, and I don't think Italy's gonna be over there like, oh, okay, we're gonna be able to walk over them. They're gonna prepare for this game. So I think like you said, if Italy loses game, everything that we were just talking about and praising Italy for would go for nothing.
Yeah.
So they have to go in and the same mentality.
Mhm.
No matter who's in front of you, you're going to play your game. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Yep.
I want to see, because Italy's been able to play their game. And I think versus Austria, they'll be able to do the same thing. Versus another powerhouse team, how do they play? Are they able to play their game? Are they able to even sit back? I think defensively, Italy's always going to be a strong team defensively. But are we going to be able to take it to them, break on the counter, or even play the way that we've been playing? And that's going to be interesting. And I hope that we're able to pass that test. And we get
that's the thing that I was going to say. The reason why I say I don't care if we play Belgium or we care about or play against Portugal, and I don't care if we play against France, quite frankly, because I'm not scared about the matchup. My only fear is, will Italy play the way that we know Italy can play?
Yeah.
I think we can be our own biggest enemy. If we play the way that we know how, with hunger, with character, with courage, I really think that we could make a lot of teams struggle. My only fear is that we play these big name teams and we start to calculate, oh my God, this guy played in the final, or this guy's really good, or, we get nervous. If we miss one chance, are we going to be mentally strong enough to be able to think, okay, we missed that chance, but guess what? We're going to have another chance. We go down 1 goal, but guess what? We're still in this match. Can we fight for the 90 minutes when the going goes tough? That's my only fear with Italy. I'm not scared about the opponents that we play. We have to be able to play the tough opponents. We're Italy. Even though our past form is not good, we're Italy at the end of the day. We're expected to go out there and top the tournament. We're expected to go out there and beat Austria. We're not supposed to be scared of anybody else.
I mean, I do see that point, but I do feel like there's many leaders on this Italy squad, so I'm not too scared. Chiellini, Bonucci, I feel like those guys are the real leaders of this team. Up top, maybe not the most insigne.
Still needs to step up. But
He still needs to
it's
step
tough, though,
up.
man. It's
But to
tough.
be honest, mentally, I'm not too scared in terms of they pretty much steamroll all their opponents and weren't scared of all the underdog or the dark horse of Turkey or whatever it is. But I think against Austria, they have to get the job done. Then after that, see who they get between Portugal and Belgium, and that's where the real
I agree.
it gets tough. And
You
that's
win
where
that
we're
game.
gonna-
You win that game.
Oh yeah.
win that
then
game?
anything can happen. But anything can happen. That's the
The
thing.
momentum will be crazy.
That's where they're. But don't underestimate Austria. Play.
Right.
It's a knockouts. Anything can happen in knockouts. Never underestimate your opponent. Focus on that. Don't worry about anything else. I'll then see what happens from there.
What are the next brackets?
So the next brackets are in the same group. Obviously, France are playing Switzerland.
Okay,
Most
France is
likely,
gonna
France
win.
are going to go through. They're going to play the winners of Spain and Croatia. Spain and Croatia is actually very tough because Spain has not been performing at all. And for our app that we have, the Scorito app, guys, if you guys been using it a lot, the information's in the description. Dude, Spain looked horrible. They look like they have no identity. Morata's been atrocious. He's been missing sitters. He's missing penalties. And Croatia, they managed to go through by scoring a few goals in the. I believe it was Scotland they were playing, and they ended up scoring a goal. Modric scored an incredible goal. And then at the end again, they scored, I think it was Perisic.
Inter's Modric?
But Marco's digging.
I don't know why I always think about that.
But I just want to hear, before we go on to what's going to happen in the quarterfinals, Spain and Croatia. Does anyone else see maybe an upset there? Or
I think that's tough to even decide. As you said, both of them been poor, very poor, especially Spain. I mean, like you look at them and you say to yourself, that's not the Spain that we're used to seeing in all these major tournaments. They dominate, and this isn't a team that dominates. This is a team that looks very, very poor.
this
So
Spain team does not have one Real Madrid player, and
Yeah.
that's
Oh, wow.
one of your best teams in La Liga.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
You missed. Spain has missed 5 penalties. The last 5 penalties they have missed.
Whoa,
5.
I did not know that.
Who's taking
I
it?
watched.
Has it been Morata?
Morata has
And
missed one
Morata.
too.
I know he missed the last
Goddamn.
one. I'm not sure.
Gerardo and Morata missed the last 2
Yeah.
in this tournament. We know of the tiki-taka style, right? A lot of people don't like it. The bored, they get bored by just a slow approach, and that's what's been happening with this Spain right now, where they don't have anybody taking it to the next level, especially your number 9 Morata. For me, I think he's a decent player, but he's not the Spain's number 9. And you saw they missed chances. The game is very like lethargic,
Stagnant,
moving back and forth, waiting and taking their time for an opening, and they weren't able to get the opening. But versus the last game, they scored 5 goals.
But only because the own
5-0.
goal happened first from
Okay.
the keeper
There was
that
2
helped
own goals,
them
not to
out.
mention.
You gotta mention that too. It's a jump start.
By all
He
means.
didn't get the finish.
By all means. But still, that
Yeah.
result 5-0. I think that kind of gives you a little bit
Okay.
of a spark to
That's
say,
fair.
hey, we're Spain. We need to go in it. Whatever happened, our difficulties happened. Now we got to start playing. They do have quality players on this team, but Croatia is another team that has a lot of quality players. You have a Modric who scored a fantastic goal. The outside of his boot is amazing. Perisic, whenever he plays with Croatia, he has an amazing thing. Diego Lovren, Brozovic. There's a lot of guys. Rebic also. There's a lot of guys with experience on this team. It's an older team. I see Spain going through. And just because I think they're going to have more of the possession, and I think they're going to be able to turn it on this game for some reason.
2 teams that had great generations that were like this, and then slowly just like you feel like they got to the tail end of that incredible form. Like Croatia was amazing in the 2018 World Cup, and unfortunately they went out because I was a huge fan of Croatia. What I will say, I mean, by the way, the idiots about Morata, I feel so bad with, they're threatening his kids. They're wishing death
That's
on his
crazy.
kids.
That's horrible.
My God, come on,
That's
guys.
horrible. That doesn't belong there,
Football
man.
fans, sometimes we're a disgrace.
I didn't see that. What happened?
They're threatening his little kids. They want his kids to die and his
Oh,
wife to
that-
die.
no,
Just because he
too
misses
far.
a goal. Come on, listen.
There's a line.
Yeah, there's a line. I don't like that. I will agree with you where, for me, if Croatia goes through, I'll not be surprised because Spain has not been good. But I would say Spain if you're making me pick. I say Spain, history. They've got a lot behind them. So I'll say Spain.
Me too.
Spain.
No, I put Croatia. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Either way, France is going to beat whatever team that they play. It's France,
I
right?
think, yeah.
France will beat
Damn,
whatever
Marco,
team.
wait on
Switzerland.
dapping the party.
I don't see how
over here.
Switzerland can
No, Switzerland's not going
can
to do
compete
anything.
with France.
No, but I'm saying
Yeah,
France
no.
will beat Spain or
In the
Croatia,
quarter,
whoever
he's
goes
saying in the
through.
quarters. Yeah.
They're going to
I
go
think
to
so.
the next round.
I think so.
Just fast forward to that.
Yeah.
Other side?
So the other side, the first game is Sweden versus Ukraine. Not bad. Play the winner versus England versus Germany.
So-
That's gonna be a good one.
Sweden.
Versus Ukraine.
It's a tough game.
That is
Yeah.
tough.
Sweden's been good though.
Sweden looks very
Sweden's
good.
not been bad. They're a gritty team. They're tough. I would say Sweden. Sweden?
I
Yeah.
agree with you.
Sweden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweden's very defensively, and they won the group. I think
They
right?
did.
They
over
won the
Spain.
group over Spain.
Yeah.
So they're tough.
Yeah.
They're
They're
really
very
different.
tough.
We
And
know
there's
that.
this young kid, Isak,
Yeah.
amazing.
Forsberg too is a
Amazing.
beast. Yeah.
And it would have been interesting to see Ibrahimovic on this team.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they didn't do as good.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they revolved it around too much.
We
for
know that
Ibra.
damn
Kulu's
team way
not
too
there,
well.
right?
I don't know.
Kulusevski?
No,
Yes, he
Kulusevski's
is.
there.
He came in.
back
I thought he
for
was
the-
hurt.
And he had 2 assists.
He came back.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
He had
he was
COVID.
incredible.
England versus Germany. I already said a little bit. I know England are by far the favorites for this match by anyone that would say anything.
I don't think
They
so.
were massive favorites to win after France and Portugal to win the entire Euros. They should steamroll through this. They should.
Steamroll?
They should.
I don't know
Against
about that.
Germany was not even expected to finish in second
Marco,
place.
Marco.
No,
We're
I
talking
don't
about
agree
Germany.
with you at
We're
all.
talking
It
about
doesn't
Germany.
matter.
I don't agree
It
with
doesn't
you.
matter.
I don't know
Look what
about that.
everybody's saying about them.
But it doesn't matter. A lot of people
course
say
it
a lot
does.
of stuff. That doesn't mean you take everything. You got to
Okay,
take some stuff.
but what
for
I'm saying
yourself.
is based on all of that, on all of the criteria, the Germans, look what the Germans are saying about their own team. They're not happy with the way that Lowe is playing. They're pissed off with the back three that he starts with. They're not happy. They're saying it's the worst of their generation. I've even seen them say, like, all right, if you go out or if you're not going to win, they're expecting not even to win this,
I don't
which is
see
different
that.
for a Germany team. Having said all of that, I say Germany is going to beat England. Even though it's not the favorite, even though England should win and should knock Germany out, I think Germany will knock England out.
I think Germany are the favorites first of
No,
all.
they are not
I
the favorites.
definitely think Germany
They are
are the
not the
favorites, and I
favorites.
think Germany are gonna beat England. I think fairly comfortable, because England's defense isn't. I don't know. I feel like it's not the strongest. Maybe a lot of people are saying England are the favorites, but to me, I don't see them the favorites at all. I think they'll be very. Well, I don't want to say lucky to go through. I haven't seen the match, but I'd say 70-30 Germany's gonna go through for me.
That's definitely the complete opposite of what the
I-
public perception is.
I personally, yes. I don't know if there is a favorite going into this match. I think they're equal. I'll be honest with you.
You're
I
just
do.
favoring England.
Maybe I'm not.
There you
I
are.
actually
You don't wanna
rather.
put
I
the
prefer
pressure.
Germany to win. I'll be
No.
honest with you.
Ryan,
I'm not English.
Look at me, Ryan. Yeah, but all of the players play for your team.
Doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with it. There's other reasons why. And I prefer Germany to win.
Because you're
But-
Irish.
That's fair.
Correct. So, it's not. Yeah, let's not get into that. Anyway,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I think you look at England's roster, though, as I said before, and when you have a manager like Southgate, if somebody else was in there, if you had, I don't know, man, you need a different manager for that England team. But with Southgate being there, England have no chance.
I think Southgate, maybe, okay, you're going to be questioning some of his,
Choices, yeah.
choice selection for the starting 11. But he's actually given some stability to his English team. Like in the World Cup, they went pretty far for 20-plus years of not going
But you're
far.
expected to when you have
The
Rashford,
talent.
Sterling,
Okay.
Grealish,
Yeah,
all these
sure,
guys.
that's
You're
true.
expected
And he did
to.
it.
Yeah.
But when you look
And
at
he
the group
did it.
stage and you play the way you played, and then you're tying
You
a
got
team like
through.
Scotland, you should be ashamed of yourself when you have Sancho, Lewin,
Ashamed?
I think-
Grealish,
Say
all
the
these
mic.
options on the bench. You don't make a change because you're too busy favoring the guys that you like most. Not right. And any other manager, as you said, would be criticized for it. Why? Because it's an English team? You're not going to criticize? That's wrong, in my opinion.
I think he was
Agreed.
criticized. I think a lot of England.
Not
were-
as bad as if it would have been Mancini
No,
or
but
any
it's
other
because
manager
it-
for that matter.
That's a different style of journalism. In Italy, we know one little thing everyone goes
Crazy,
crazy
yeah.
about.
But and as I said, I think English players too, quite frankly, are overrated. And it proved it's a proven point.
Didn't
because
expect that from you, Ryan. Whoa, I gotta say.
you look at the team right now.
Yeah.
1-0 against these teams that you're playing. Dude, you should have blew 5-6 in the net.
No,
Okay,
right.
6, okay, I don't want to say 6.
Look at the team
Okay.
that you're playing in that
Listen,
group.
if
But
you
look,
win, you win, Ryan.
6
Okay.
goals.
I would more so say the 0-0 against Scotland.
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't have to say 6
Yeah,
goals.
come
though.
on.
That's almost
Scotland were
disrespectful.
actually one of the better teams in that group, in my
They
opinion.
still- I think
They
should
were
have
able to
won.
score.
So-
They were able to score, and the best players are two left backs. That's the
So
problem.
anyway,
Team.
with everything being said, England are not a favorite. The manager is horrible, and the players are overrated. So
I don't think the
Damn,
manager
Ryan.
is horrible. He maybe made a mistake in the Scotland game. You could have put something, but maybe he felt confident in what he had, and he wanted those players to get on
You
if
know
he
what,
had the
he's
extra
mad?
time.
He's mad 'cause
Probably
Sancho's
lost
on the bench.
Okay, yeah.
And you're signing Sancho.
snap.
That's
we're
where
signing
at.
Sancho.
Look at me, Ryan.
Yo,
Look at
leave him
me,
on the
Ryan.
bench. I don't want him
Look at
getting
me,
hurt.
Ryan. Look at
I don't
me.
want him getting
I know
hurt.
you-
That's
I
kind
know
of
you.
Leave him on the
fast,
bench.
though.
There's the old story with England where they say, hey, the English teams never really do well in these tournaments because they play a crazy amount of games in the Premier League in England. So that's always been
Right.
something that they've talked about.
Hold on a second.
But
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
though. I want
By
to
the
say
way,
one
Luka,
thing.
this guy
And
Luka.
I'm not just talking about this tournament. You look at back then in 06, right? You look at all these other years that they've had major tournaments. England had a team once where they had Beckham, Michael Owen, Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard. They couldn't do anything
We
with
got
that
a
team.
lot of pressure on that team.
But like I said, all world-class talent that was overhyped by the media that ended up starting here with this momentum and just got kicked out of the tournament.
I do agree with the overhype. It's really unbelievable that
Yeah.
I mean if they did what Italy did, I mean they would be already crowned
Slaughter.
champions. Like
Oh, no.
period.
Oh, you're saying
If they did what Italy did, where they won the group the way that we
Oh,
did,
okay.
they would have
I
been
think
crowned
that's the
champions
style.
by the
Yeah.
media. I'm just saying the difference in that.
yeah.
By the way,
What did Luka say?
Luka say a comment was like, "Wow, my respect for Ryan went way up."
I'm just saying how it
After
is,
that
bro.
England rant.
I'm just saying how it
To be
is.
fair, I was
But
really
one thing
surprised.
I don't
was
like-
So surprised.
I think he's playing a little bit of mind games.
Hold on a second, though. But now, one thing I really, truly don't
maybe.
like, how the hell do you start Tyrone Mings over
Mings!
Harry Maguire? Over Harry Maguire.
I know you want them on the bench.
I-
How do
I know
you
you
not?
want Man United.
How
players
do
on the
you
bench.
not start? I'm just saying.
I know you
I'm
want
just
United
saying.
players on
I
the
had
bench.
no clue
I'm
who
just
You're
Mings
lying
saying.
now.
You got a defender
Has
like
Maguire
Harry
sucks.
Maguire
He sucks.
played in bigger matches than an Aston Villa dude that just came up from a championship
So
last
you
season.
just went against your entire argument for Verratti and Locatelli.
How?
Locatelli's played in smaller games than Verratti. You just used that argument against
No,
Maguire.
not at all. Tyrone Mings hasn't proved himself. That was just England had no other options, and Harry Maguire was hurt.
But you-
hurt going into the
So then
tournament.
why are you telling him
But
that?
your
Hold
point,
on,
your
because he's
point,
fit now.
Your point right now is that Maguire played in bigger matches, but you could say the
He's
same
a
thing
far-
about Verratti.
No. He's a far better defender too than Tyrone
So then,
Mings.
what does him playing in big matches matter if you said that didn't matter for Verratti?
Just the point that I'm making. Now, when you look,
When it works in your
when you
favor,
look at
Ryan.
Mings, okay, Mings,
Man.
You sit there and you say to yourself, I'm like, this dude shouldn't have even gotten called up. He's got the privilege to be starting in the first match, second match, because Maguire wasn't fit. Now that Maguire's back, Maguire's his daddy, he should be on the pitch over Tyrone Mings.
There's no other
my
center
opinion.
back that England has.
That's my opinion.
Wait, there's no other center back England because I had no
They have
clue
no-
who this guy Mings
Their
was. I
center
had no
backs
clue.
are, besides John Stones, he's the only quality. Him and Maguire would pair perfectly. I don't know why he's
Who's
starting
going
Tyrone
to
Mings.
give context as to why we're laughing about Mings?
You're gonna explain it, Marco.
Anyways, continue now.
That's the way that Ryan says minchia in Italian. He says,
Minchia?
"Mm."
And we just
Ming. Anyway,
So,
Nah, I don't know. England, Germany. Going back to the game. This guy goes on a Premier League rant.
have to get
Ger-
my rant in once in a while.
Yeah, no, but both teams haven't had the spectacular, start of their group stage. Germany did have a good game versus Portugal, and then almost lost it versus
Right.
Hungary. So there's been a lot of question marks with this team. If you want to just go based on history, I think Germany would have the upper hand. But it's another tough game. And I think whoever wins this game probably goes to the finals on that side of the bracket. That's what I think.
Let me ask you a question. Who's your favorite going into this match?
I think England have to be the favorite.
You think
because
so?
of,
You think
because,
they have the upper hand?
Why?
because of the players that they have.
What
And
players?
I know,
No,
but
no.
listen, you're gonna go by
guys,
players.
it's very obvious that England are the favorites.
I don't
Just
see
look
it.
at-
I don't
just
see it obvious.
I don't-
at
I
all.
don't see
Because
it, though.
you have
I
to read
don't
the
see
room.
it
Look at what
opposite
public
at all.
perception
I don't
is.
see that.
But
I don't
I-
see it
I-
opposite at
That's
all,
what
bro.
favorites are at
But
the
it
end
has-
of the day. It's public
But it
perception.
has
Listen,
not, but favorites. Listen, it's a game. The ball is around. Germany is a top team. Like doesn't matter who's favorite.
I
You're gonna
agree.
play that game. But I think
no.
from the beginning, England are supposed to.
Last game.
I don't
Last
see it.
game.
Okay,
Come on, let's end this.
moving on for the second part of the second half of the bracket. We got Netherlands versus Czech Republic.
Netherlands will win.
Play the winner of Wales versus Denmark. Ooh.
I like Denmark. I'm rooting for Denmark.
I
Kind of.
want Denmark. to win.
Wales was a lot better than I
Wales is
expected.
tough.
I'll be honest, but I'm rooting for Denmark a little bit for Eriksson. I kind of
Okay.
just want. I kind of want their team. I mean, listen, if you put 1-1 that I
It's
don't really
tough.
care about Wales, then I say okay. What? I don't have a
No,
foot in the
no.
race of Wales.
Yeah.
I would say that I would rather Denmark to go in. So I say Denmark and Netherlands, obviously.
I am kind of rooting for Denmark, but I do think Wales they look better than I thought. So I think Wales is gonna do it. I think
What
Wales
a
is gonna
path!
go through.
Can you believe this? Wales finishes
Wow.
second in the group, and they get to play Denmark.
Not bad,
And
right?
they're on the other side of the table. It's crazy that you finish.
Yeah, I know.
First. Italy wins.
Crazy.
Scores 7 goals, 0 goals conceded, and you get the hardest side of the table.
I know.
It's just the way it goes. It's fine though. Either way, you got to play the best teams.
Sucks.
Guys, we'll be live tomorrow for the Italy match. No slip ups allowed. You have to win. Have to win against Austria. No other way around it. Like we said, there could be expectations, but you have to match the expectations. I hope the team goes out there. I hope they go out there hungry. I hope they go out there with the same character. If they play just with the same intensity and the same courage as they have in the past 3 games, we will have no problem against Austria. If we start to try to change our game, if we start to get nervous, if we are not mentally strong enough to be able to break the barrier, I think Italy could be our own worst enemy tomorrow. That's it.
Before we finish off, because there was a few comments about it, wanting Peter's opinion on their new signing, Hakan, who switched sides with Milano.
shit.
A couple of words for that, because it is a big signing. I feel like it kind of came out of nowhere, and Hakan
did.
changing colors. Changing colors.
It came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
really.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, it's a free transfer. Well, that helps with the books. They gave $1 million more than Milan to secure him, which is not a crazy amount of money, and it's a player that we're
yourself.
gonna need because unfortunately what happened with Eriksson.
Right.
So I think it's a quality player for cheap. I think also during these Euros he's created a lot of chances, even with Turkey being as poor as they were.
Did he?
Yeah, I think I saw a stat where he's.
I'm
I'm
serious.
serious.
Somewhere sport.
I'll bring it to you.
Listen, the only benefit.
I don't want to say. I don't want. I know, but
I
don't
saw
trust
it.
me,
I
bro.
saw it on
Remember that?
RyanSports.com.
Ryanair.
Anyway,
Ryan's
the only
sources are the
benefit.
worst.
The most
What was the
reliable.
source that you tried to send like years ago. What signing were you supposed to get?
Wikipedia.
Underground
idea.
tunnel or some shit.
What was it?
ABC.
What was the signing though?
I don't know. Ronaldo going back or something.
No,
or
no
Sancho.
way. I never believed in Ronaldo coming back.
Ryan.
Okay.
Ryan, you texted me. Ryan's
I
coming.
would have loved him to come
Ronaldo's
back when he
coming
was
home.
27, 28. But
Why
not
doesn't
at
Ronaldo do the
36.
decision? He should learn from LeBron James and do the decision.
Oh, that's
I
where the-
remember
call.
that.
That's where the Americans
That was
excel
a
in,
great
though.
call.
They know how to
Yeah,
hand it off.
that was
man.
hype.
That transfer is a good move for Inter.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's a good move, and I think it's excellent business by AC Milan. You just got
By Inter Milan.
rid of 2 guys, and you didn't make any profit off them. I mean, 2 of your best players, and you didn't make a single penny.
I thought you made a
And you
mistake.
didn't make a single penny
The
off them.
Milan fans,
How do you get rid of Donnarumma?
Oh,
For
boy.
you could have sold them. Oh man, it blows my mind. And people want to bust my chops about you spending 90 million Maguire.
Yeah, that's
Listen,
bad.
hold
That's
on a
just like
second.
bad.
You just
Ryan,
got
that's
rid
worse.
of. You just got rid of one of the best goalkeepers in the world for free. For free,
You
0.
lost them. They didn't get rid of them. They lost them.
So that's a shame. That's a shame.
That was the situation is a little bit complicated. I never like going into the rest of the year with a player that's on an expiring contract.
At that point, you have to look to sell them even last year.
Yeah, I agree.
But congratulations,
Listen,
Peter. It's a shame you didn't pick up Donnarumma too. You should have.
they don't
That's
have-
too
they don't
much.
have-
Would've been nice.
But I agree. I mean, people are giving. I don't like.
You guys signed Cordas, though, right?
Robin?
You guys signed Cordas
yeah.
from Crotone.
Return
right?
after
You're
18
the legend.
years.
You're definitely gonna win it again now. Confirm.
Oh yeah, his hairstyle.
He
Very
has
nice.
no hair.
Milan ain't getting
Others
Champions
have,
League though this time.
What?
Milan's not getting Champions League this year.
You said
the
that last
Merc-
year.
the Mercado
You said that last
They
year, Ryan.
barely made it.
The
Wait, they
transfer
still got
market
it.
barely
They
made
still
it.
got it.
They
The transfer
barely
market
made
didn't
it.
even open yet.
They barely made
Yo,
it.
so Milan fan said, Ryan, you lost Pogba and bought him for 100
Hold on.
No holding on. No holding on.
El Medino. El
Yo,
Medino.
Hold on a
yo,
second.
Ryan,
We lost Pogba.
You can't even.
We lost Pogba. Let me but I gotta back it up.
Man.
We lost Pogba when Pogba was nobody.
No.
Nobody.
He was
Yes,
somebody.
he was in the
Sir Alex
academy.
Ferguson wanted him so bad.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
He left because Ferguson wasn't
No,
playing
he
him.
wasn't playing him.
That's
but he
hilarious.
would've
Ferguson didn't
kept
want
one.
him.
That's
Ryan,
hilarious.
but
So
you
hold
gave away
on.
a player for free, and then
Hold
you
on.
gave
Ryan thought he
him
won
a
the
$100
argument.
million
You're not
first.
giving me a chance. You're
All
not
right,
giving me a
go,
chance.
go.
So when you have a player that's not even known, he's in the academy.
No, everyone knew.
You get
about
rid of
him.
him, okay. But now he made his name. We're gonna buy him back. Not
Yo.
a problem. But when you got a guy that's
didn't buy
already
him for
made his
20
name,
million, bro.
played 6 years for the first team, world class, and you don't sell him for a penny, that's a shame. Man, you get rid of Pogba. It's not a shame. The kid was the academy player.
It's not a
With
shame that
nobody.
you paid 110
Yeah.
million
He
for
was
a player that was in your
nobody.
academy.
You understand
grew up
that?
in your academy. You basically got robbed.
You guys took
lost
a
an
risk.
academy player and then paid 110
You guys
million.
took a risk and took him.
What's a
and-
risk? The
and
guy's
look,
a great
and
player.
it was
It
a
was $1 million
gamble.
bucks.
But it was a
What was it?
gamble. You took him, and guess what?
It's not a gamble to bet on
That's
an
not a
18-year-old
gamble,
kid.
yeah.
It was
Bro.
a gamble, Marco.
What was
You
it,
know
half
it
a
was
mil?
a gamble.
What
Yeah,
was
it
this
was
thing?
nothing.
You know damn well it was a gamble. But
It's not
Man
a
U,
gamble.
it was a gamble.
No,
There's no
But-
risk in that. Come on.
But there's a big difference between Man U getting rid of Pogba when he was nobody and then bringing him back for 100 million than somebody getting rid of the best goalkeeper, one of the best in the world, for $0.
All right, let's take a poll. What's worse? What's worse, getting rid of Donnarumma for $0 or losing Pogba and then buying him back for 110?
But you got to word it the right way. We're
We
not
know
talking about
the
Pogba
situation.
now.
We know
We're not
the
talking about
situation.
Pogba when he was playing
Okay.
for you. We're talking about Pogba when he was an academy player.
But
Nobody.
Milan, but it's not like Milan had to buy Donnarumma back.
Pogba was the top youth player.
No,
When
Be
he was
fair,
playing Man
Peter.
U.
Be fair here.
He was.
All right, go ahead.
He was a top youth player. And Manchester United lost him because Sir Alex Ferguson, like you said, they didn't want to play him certain games in the first team. And Pogba said, you know what? I'm good enough. I can play. I'm going to go elsewhere. Juventus scooped him up. And after the first couple of months, he started.
Yeah.
Conte started him, and he's been great ever since.
Right.
Losing Donnarumma, by all means, hurts. You weren't able to agree on a salary. But by
Here
losing
we
a
go.
player...
Here we go. You're full of shit.
And then buying him
full
for
of shit.
110 million.
You're full of
It's
shit.
a
Wasn't
heavy
110
loss.
million, was
Yeah,
it?
it was like 107.
That's
I
a
think
heavy
was the
loss.
exact amount. Plus
And
Mino Raiola.
And you gave exactly.
I mean, I'm sorry, Ryan, but it's the truth. And
is.
the thing is, the difference that he's saying, the key is that they knew Pogba was great. He knew Pogba was going to be a really good player. The problem was that he wasn't going to play him. That's why. It's not that they thought, oh, some random little kid that nobody knew about. They knew about. He wasn't Donnarumma, but they still knew about. For me, Pogba's worse.
Okay.
Mike?
No, I agree. Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, I think that was a big chunk letting someone like Pogba leave, and then what was 3 seasons after spending that much, and at the time that was a transfer free. Transfer fee broken. No, it definitely was 100 million. And then after that, Neymar went. Everyone started going for around that price too. It was crazy. After you guys ruined the fucking market. After that, dude, everything was so expensive.
It was Ronaldo. It was the
it?
It was the summer.
It
It
was
was the
Ronaldo.
summer of Kaká and Ronaldo that ruined the transfer market.
Oh, okay.
That was the
Okay,
thing
that's
where everything went gone, and you're saying Jack Grealish is gonna go for 100 million.
It's impossible.
That's crazy.
It's impossible.
That's
But this
absurd.
Goes back to me, my point being proven. English players are overhyped.
No, that they are. That they are.
Guys, we're ending the podcast. We'll see you tomorrow for tomorrow's stream. As always, thank you for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Ciao, guys.
Ciao, guys.